All right, Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez back. The final word is in town. Week 2 of the NFL season. The Denver Broncos are in Indianapolis this week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. At this time, I would like to bring on my partner live from Las Vegas, Nevada, Alex Ramirez. He has been out there having a great time at the Canelo Alvarez Terrence Blood Crawford fight, a fight that I watched personally as well as millions of others on Netflix pay-per-view. Alex was attending a huge party in Vegas as well, where many fun times over there. Good morning, Alejandro. How you doing? And how's Las Vegas the night after the fight?
Good morning, Joe. How are you doing, brother?
Man, I'm great, man. Just enjoying life here in Colorado, Broncos, Colts. But we're going to ask you, being out in Las Vegas, what's the atmosphere like this morning after a great fight night? Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez.
Well, I don't know if he killed him, but he definitely put the pressure on him last night, and he's now another champion. 3-time different weight class champion. He went up 2 weight classes from 144 to 168.
154 to 168. Yeah.
Yeah, and now, what do you think? They built this fight as the once in a lifetime fight. Was it a once in a lifetime fight? Possibly, but it solidifies. It was a fight that, and even Max Kellerman was mentioning it last night on the telecast, that never in the history of boxing has one fight impacted so much on one fight going either way. Canelo wins, and he's solidified his stamp the last 2 decades as the greatest fighter, Mexican fighter of all time, which he, in my opinion, still is. But if Crawford wins, it changes everything, Joey.
Yeah, well, just to give you a comment, because millions of people, including myself, watched the entire fight on Netflix, just like you. And I'm going to say this. Terrence Bud Crawford, in my lifetime, I think of guys like Money Mayweather. That's the first guy I think of when I think of an undefeated defensive fighter. And now, moving into second, I'm going to put Terrence Crawford. I mean, everybody he's put in front of him, he beat him. No matter what your name, no matter whether you won this championship, he moved up 2 weight classes. He was a decided underdog as well in the fight. Canelo, a pretty big, heavy favorite. And, I want to give kudos to Terrence Bud Crawford for fighting an excellent fight, and I thought he was definitely the better fighter last night.
It was, Joe, and not only that, but boxing fans, this was the fight that brought boxing back into some kind of relevancy, because boxing was obviously on a down spiral, but with the new people that are in charge, I was at the press conference on Thursday night. By the way, I want to make sure this is very clear. I was not credentialized. I did not go with Mile High Sports. This is a family friend event we do every year for these kind of type of fights, especially during Mexican Independence Weekend.
Yeah.
Turki Al-Aziz, the chairman of the president of the Saudi Arabian Boxing Federation, Dana White. I'm talking, man, this is going to be big, because now what's going to happen with the dynamic of boxing, Joe, is that boxing, again, has become relevant. And if you saw the crowd last night at Legion Field, man, I'll tell you what, it was something to be spoke of, man.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Boxing is not dead. We were at Pacquiao Mayweather in 2015. It was filled. Yeah. But it wasn't like that. I mean, Pacquiao Mayweather had about 10,000 spectators in a very
Pacquiao Mayweather was bigger. It was bigger.
Well, it was bigger. It was bigger with the press. It was bigger with the media. It was bigger because I think the 2 fighters were bigger. But I'm going to say this: as far as Allegiant Stadium goes, they didn't have, there were 70,000 people there, and there was I didn't see one empty seat in the entire place.
It broke a record. You and I were there a year and a half ago for Super Bowl 58 with the Chiefs and 49ers.
We were, and I was looking specifically during the fight at the Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra suites, and I was with a group of people, and I said, "Oh, I've been there." They said, "You ever been to Allegiant Stadium?" I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Matter of fact, you see right there," because they flashed to Roy Jordan Jr. and a couple people, and it was a suite. Right. And I said, "Oh yeah." I said, and they didn't believe me. I had to show them the video of you and I eating all the foods from the Super Bowl. I said, "Yeah, I ate stuffed lobster and a baked potato in that suite." And I said, I explained everything. What a treat it was. Hey, all right, that's it for the fight. Congratulations to Bud Crawford.
One thing I will say, Chuck, as Bruce Buffer told us during our interview during Media Week for Super Bowl, Las Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world, and there's not even a second place on that.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, you had everything. You had mariachis. You had two mariachis. And then you had
Oh, there are more than that.
you had some musical groups. I mean, it looked like a concert, and then a fight, and it really was. I will say this: I think it was a great production. I thought the way that they put it on was very well done.
I agree.
I love the introduction of both fighters as they came into the ring and you saw their stories unfold on the video scoreboard. I thought Allegiant Stadium was beautiful. I thought it lit up the night and it really captured the moment. I thought the only problem is I wanted more action in the fight. And I think like any big fight, you got guys, it's a chess match and blah, blah, blah. I like the one thing I loved about Oscar De La Hoya is he would stand in the middle of the ring toe to toe. And it hurt him sometimes. He lost some of the fights.
Sit there in a phone booth and just keep punching.
Punch. This was kind of more, dance around, and Canelo stalking him. It was
Canelo's 2 years younger. 2 years younger than Crawford.
Yeah, 37.
But Crawford has found the energy of youth. He found the fountain of youth, man. And he's listen. The whole thing is crazy. This fight production is going beyond just this one fight, which I think is kind of interesting. Yeah. One of the questions at the press conference. When an Univision fighter asked Canelo, because he has to ask the questions in Spanish and then you translate to English, basically said, Canelo, it's understood that you are going to be making $100 million in this fight. And then Turkey answer was, no, more than that. So, this is going to be
just so you know, those numbers are in now. 111.7 for Canelo, 89 million for Bud Crawford. That's how the 200 million was split.
Yeah. That's a lot of money, Joey, for one fight. But you know what? Here we are, and I can't wait to do it again. The only thing I missed, Joey, was you. I was like, man, Joe would be right here with me doing this. He'd be doing that. But hey, again, I wasn't credentialized to come in. Yeah. I came in here with some friends and family that we do it every year, and I got a chance to go to the press conference because it was open to the public.
Well, you did a great job,
awesome.
First of all.
I appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun watching you on social media, watching your family have fun. Got to see Rick Harrison, our buddy that you and I met. We did actually a little interview with him, if you remember.
He remembered me. He remembered me. He said, I said, hey, Rick, remember Alex Ramirez, Joe Rico, Final Word, Mile High Sports, Convention Center, Super Bowl Media Week. He's like, yeah.
He's one of those guys, man, though, that is unforgettable. I know that one of your family members loved him. Great picture. It looked like he had just met his hero. And all right, so let's flip it over to the game. The 1-0 Broncos, 1-0 Indianapolis Colts. And, normally when the schedule came out, I thought this was an easy win. I thought, okay, the Titans, okay, good. The Colts, good. I don't know, man. The Colts beat Miami 33-8 last week.
Who's Miami?
Well, I understand, but let me just say this. The Colts have a defense. I'm going to tell you this right now. The Colts have a better defense than people are giving them credit for. I'm not sold on Daniel Jones. I agree. I have to see that.
I am now. Kurt Warner was just on Rich Eisen's show this past week. And they asked him, what was your favorite quarterback? Who had the best quarterback ratings and performance over the weekend? And I respect Kurt Warner. And he said,
Hall of Fame quarterback.
The kid from New York. What's his name? The new quarterback, Joe.
Justin Fields.
No, Giants.
Giants. Oh, Jackson Dart.
I'm sorry. I apologize. The Colts is going to be.
It's Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. So Daniel Jones had the highest rating according to Kurt Warner, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback, saying that he had the best performance of the weekend. First weekend. So, he looks like the guy who can play the part. Anthony Richardson, what's that situation looking like? I mean, either one, it's done. Yeah, I agree.
Done. I mean, here's what Anthony Richardson is now a guy. You know what he's going to have to become? Anthony Richardson is going to have to do what Cordell Stewart had to do and go from being a quarterback to being a guy who could kind of do everything. But he did it in reverse, right? Stewart was slash, and then he became an actual quarterback. I think Anthony Richardson is more kind of a gadget guy right now. Daniel Jones, and when you said it best, who is Miami? Well, on defense, they're nobody. And I think that Daniel Jones will come back to earth a little bit. But the one thing I did see that the Colts had the ability to do is they got all over Tua. I mean, they punked Tua. They had guys in his face all day, and also the rookie tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn State University, a guy many people wanted the Broncos. Yep. He looked like a beast, dude. You know, he reminds me of his Brock Bowers, the guy who's just tearing it up in Las Vegas,
bigger,
right now.
but bigger and lengthier.
This guy played fullback, and you know how Little League is. Big guys don't carry the ball. The only time he got to carry the ball was as a fullback on a tackle eligible play, and he'd get busted up, and he carried like 8 dudes. He carried 4 Miami Dolphins players 8 yards on one play.
What's the line look at right now for the Broncos Colts game?
Nick, will you look that up? Because I'll tell you what, right now, the last time I saw the Broncos were favored by 1.5, which I thought was kind of weird because I don't know about this game. You know, Alex, give me your thoughts as we head to kick off here in about 3 hours.
Well,
Actually, about 3.5 hours still.
Cab driver special, Joey. Again, we got to go back and think. There's no tendencies in the first 4 weeks. The cab driver special is a guy 25 years ago that we won in Vegas told me, hey, listen, there's no tendencies in the first 4 weeks. Don't touch any of these guys. Don't touch any teams. Just let it roll out. But now with all these prop bets out here, Joe, you can do who's going to
score first touchdown?
Who's going to flip the coin longer? Who's going to win the coin toss? I mean,
is it heads or tails? You know, I would tell you a story real quick, and Nick, you'll love this too. I got a buddy of mine, big gambler, and I used to gamble money with him. And then one time, the Patriots were playing the Rams, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to lay some big money down." He said, "We're going to lay." We had $700 in our account. He goes, "I'm going to do 7 large." He goes, "I'm going to put it on the Patriots." I said, "All right, great." So I think 7 large. You know what I mean? I think $700, right? So the whole game's going, and he goes, he calls me about 3/4 of the way through the game. He says, "So what are you going to do with your half of the 7,000?" And I said, "What do you mean 7,000?" And he said, yeah. And I said, "What do you do?" I mean, I thought some guy's going to come break my legs. You know, luckily the Patriots won, and I won $3,500. But if that would have gone south, by the way, better 7 large means 1,000, not 100. Yeah. When you're poor like me, you think that means 100 when you're married. But no, it means 7,000 when you're a baller like Alejandro Guapo Suavecito.
No way, man.
Today, what do you think, Bo Nix? I mean, look, man, I wasn't impressed with Bo Nix in week 1. What did you think of him, and what does he got to do to get better in week 2?
I think there's so many moving parts right now with the Broncos on offense. Sean Payton's trying to create, maybe not pad the stats a little bit because he could have on that field goal he didn't take advantage of. And I'm never going to say that because, you know, me and Sean Payton have a certain type of relationship. So I'm going to say I think he did the right thing, but I don't. I believe the Broncos just have a mixed bag on who's who, what your responsibilities are. But more than anything, the defense saved the Broncos last week against the Titans. And that's what's going to happen again today. We have to establish the run. No question about that. If you want any success in anything, you got to establish a run. Joey, real quick, do we have time to talk about the Buffs?
We do in a minute. Hold on. So just along that line, you know, RJ Harvey, nice 50-yard run, 6 carries, 70 yards.
My fantasy running back.
Averaged 11.5 yards a carry. Yeah, you couldn't ask for more on that. And then J.K. Dobbins, of course, salvaged his day with a nice 19-yard touchdown run where he did something that I didn't see a whole lot of last year from Broncos backs. He broke a tackle. And when I saw him break tackles, I mean, you look at every big play in the NFL, and Nick and Alex, it usually starts with a guy being either making a guy miss or breaking a tackle. Because you know what? If you make that first guy miss, Ramirez, you know, man, you get your big hogs down in front of you and that first guy misses. It's a big play, right? I'm going to tell you the things that could beat the Broncos today. 1, Jonathan Taylor. You talk about a beast, man, a running back that could really make a disastrous. He had the Colts last year as Jonathan Taylor ran across the goal line. You remember he flipped the ball right before he got to the goal line. And if he scores that touchdowns, Indianapolis goes up here in Denver 20-7. So anybody who thinks this game is going to be, I'm with Alex. I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole. I think this is going to be an extremely close football game, by the way. The Colts defense, they're not the Broncos defense, but they look pretty darn good to me. One other thing, man, let's talk a little bit about the guys up front.
Did you want the odds?
Yeah, go ahead.
Broncos are favored by 2.5.
So they went up a point, Alex. It was a point and a half to start Wednesday.
How disrespectful is that, Nick?
To the Colts?
To fucking the game, man.
I think that's perfect because the Broncos offense shows Right now, they have nothing because they don't know what they haven't established an identity.
What's the over under? Is it over 40 points? I don't think it
43
is.
and a half.
All right, so it's 43 and a half. So you
Take
look
the
at
over. Take the over all day.
I'm going under. I say you take the under. I'm going to tell you, Alex, the Colts defense is better than you think. That's what I'm going to tell you. I think you are.
And the Colts offensive line is better than we think as well.
So you're saying the Colts are going to score some points today?
I think both teams are going to be. It'll be a shootout today in Indy.
Okay, and you know what? I'd love to see that because I think that's what the Broncos offense need.
Joe, the sports book is to my left. If you want, I can throw some money on you right now. If you want,
you're in
just Venmo me when I get back.
10 large. Yeah, say 10 large. No, 10 small. 10 small.
What's okay? So 10 large is 10 G's.
Yeah,
what's 10 small?
$10. $1,000. No, $1,000. Small is 100.
Is that Italian? Is that Italian?
It's an
mob
Italian
sports book.
It's a guy who's
hey Vinny, give me a 10 large on this one.
Give me 10 large on this. Yeah, well, Vinny will come break your legs. All right, man. Let's move over to Friday night. And boy, I've saved this for last because I don't like it. You know, I mean, you go down to Houston. And, Ryan Staub, you talk all week, and I thought they had a good game plan for Ryan. And then you can't tackle anybody. I mean, they missed like 15 tackles. Guys running wide open in the secondary.
Yep.
Almost no resistance on defense. And you can't get into a shootout when you don't have a quarterback. Your thoughts?
Well, and you can't stop the run. Coach Prime was, if you saw his press conference, he was upset. He was upset. He was upset at his coaches.
Yep.
He was upset at the preparation. He thought that the preparation that they had leading up to Houston was going to get them through this pinch.
Yep.
It was completely the opposite. What I'm seeing, and again, Joey, nobody covers the Buffs like you and I do.
We're there every week.
But I see a team that does things okay, but nothing great. All right. And that's the Achilles heel. We got Wyoming this weekend coming up on Saturday night, right? At 8:15 at ESPN. Yeah, they just cleared it up. Curtis just sent that. But all I'm saying is and the Buffs, I don't know if this is going to take a toll on their psyche or how that quarterback division with Staub starting.
Well, let me just jump in real quick. It's going to end. Let me tell you, and I'm not trying to rain on Ryan Staub's parade. He might even get one more start this week at the University of Wyoming at home versus Wyoming. But really, this is just the countdown to the Juju Lewis era. I mean, this is it, right? I mean, this is the guy you went out and got. He's a 5-star guy.
He's not ready.
He's not ready. I understand that, but we're hoping if I'm there, I'm in the cafeteria with that guy shoving food down his throat, putting 20, 30 pounds. And they do this before everybody laughs.
Where's the training table?
The training table is real. Anybody who doesn't think you're putting on weight at the university level is wrong. These guys started about 215, 220, some of them, these old linemen. And by the time they're seniors, they're 315. They put on 100 pounds. That's what Juju Lewis, I noticed he looked a little bigger when I saw him.
He did. He looked a little thicker down on his thighs. He looked bigger. Listen,
he's put on about 50 more pounds.
At the end of the day, Joey,
I say
the problem, like you guys mentioned, you and Troy, we'll talk to Troy here in a minute, but when there's a division of 3 different quarterbacks in a locker room, that's hard. That's a hard line. Who's with Juju? Who's with Caden Salter? Who's with the other quarterback? It's like you guys have to understand that there's a locker room that builds up, and if you don't have a quarterback, you got 3 quarterbacks, you got none. You got 2 quarterbacks, you still got none. And if Coach Prime were to go back again to Caden Salter, I mean, the uncertainty of the position is not. I mean, that's 1,000% satisfied and stamped that they don't know what they're doing at the quarterback position.
Well, Pat Shurmur didn't help anything. Pat Shurmur runs the same offense for all 3 quarterbacks, and anybody would think that. I mean, that's insane. Caden Salter.
Do you think he plays to their talents, Joey?
No, absolutely not. He runs
it's whatever Pat Shurmur wants. That's how it's going to go.
Yeah, and that's exactly the wrong way you have to coach at the college level because the kids are going to play the way the kids play. Caden Salter is not good at the same things Ryan Staub's at, and Ryan Staub says we get a nice shot of the casino out there. You at the Luxor?
Yeah, just hanging out.
That's kind of our home base. That's Alex and I stayed at the Luxor for Super Bowl 58.
7 nights. Look at.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you, man.
They know you. They know you too, Joe. They told you. Hey, where's your boy Joe? Man,
Well,
we're
now,
here for a week.
I spent 2 of the days there topless. So, I mean, they do know me. I almost got my first tattoo at the Luxor, Nick.
Joe,
It
this
was
is a
pretty
sports
hot.
show, man.
It was pretty hot. Hey, I mean, are tattoos part of the sports culture? I believe so. All right, man. Hey, let's wrap it up here. Let's talk before we get to Troy Renck here, because we still got about 8 or 9 minutes. Let's talk a little bit about number 38. We're out here, right? Live at number 38, Mile High Sports and number 38. What a great partnership. We
Big
love
shout
these
out
guys.
to YOLO Sports and Mile High Sports at number 38, the presenting sponsor at Mile High Sports. It's our people that that allow us to have that platform. Big shout out to Nate Lundy, Danny Bailey, Doug Otto, all the entire production team, Nick Arch, that allows this bar to happen. But we're guests at number 38, and we always have to remember that.
We love
Because
it.
sometimes we feel like, oh, this is our bar. No, it's number 38. They give us a little corner to do what we do, Joe. And that's why I'm so appreciative of that. And Nate Lundy, Tracy, and Daniel, everybody in the staff. I just want to say great job out there. But number 38.
Great
number 30
place.
oh,
Please
the
come out
food.
and join us. Watch the games today.
Dude, the
I'll be
brick
out
oven,
here.
the brick oven pizza. Have you tried those? The brick oven pizza?
Yeah, hold on for a second. Yeah, I'm just trying to finish my part of the read. I have, as a matter of fact, had an entire brick oven pizza. It's amazing. But come on out here today. Watch the game right after our show ends at 12:30. Mile High Sports will be counting you down to kickoff. The party goes on all the way through the Bronco game. Broncos Colts will get started about 2:05. Tons of drink specials. The best bar food I've ever had, and it's a great place. You can check out El Guapo and me.
Joe,
I'm
it's
here
a
today.
destination location.
Absolutely. Bill
You can
Foss
bring
from
you can bring
Suavecito.
you can bring Luigi there, man.
Hey, man, Bill
It's
Foss.
dog
It is
friendly.
true. Dog friendly. Bill Foss from Suavecito and his lovely wife, B, just entered the establishment. And this place opens up here in about 8 minutes. Look, start your Sunday with us and then, head on back home or whatever. But I'll tell you, when you get to that 300-inch television outside, Alex, and you're on that stage, we're giving away prizes from Mile High Sports. All kinds of stuff happens here at number 38. It's hard to go home. I mean, you stayed there last time to what? 4 o'clock last Sunday.
I stayed till halftime, but what the job that Sean Drotar and Nate Lundy do and Danny Bailey, the production, people don't understand how much production and wiring and connections and connectivity that requires a stage to do a party. It's really impressive. And Nick, you know the technical part of this. So talk about number 38, Nick. This is a pretty badass place, right? That we're at.
Yeah, it's a nice location. We got our own little corner over here. We can see everybody coming in and out. We are able to, have people see what actually goes on behind the scenes because we're surrounded by glass. Drinks are great. They got their own Mile High Sports list of beers. And, the rotating menus up top always let you know what's going on, what's special, and what you can get.
Yeah,
Well, let me just say this. As we get ready to go to break, we'll have Troy Renck on at 11:05. So we got about 5 minutes left. Before we get to Troy, let's go back. I want to go back and I want to talk just your closing thoughts on your week out in Las Vegas, Nevada, from the start to finish. You were there with your friends, your family. You got to see, you didn't necessarily go to the fight as a credentialed member of the press, but you watched it at a party that many people could not get into, a VIP. I'm jealous. I wanted to be there. You were outside at Caesar's Palace in a beautiful venue. Can you talk a little bit about the week you had as we kind of close out?
I love it, Joey. Everybody knows the fight game is near and dear to our hearts, Joe. You know that. And, coming out here, I got here on Thursday. Again, not credentialized by Mile High Sports. This was on my own dime. And brought my nephews with me, Joe, who absolutely had a blast. Got some cousins and family that also made the pilgrimage to Las Vegas for the fight. It was awesome, man. Food was great. Thursday, went to Pawn Stars. I know Rick Harrison. I have his phone number, actually, which is hilarious. And
I was there when he gave it to you.
Yeah, I was texting him, hey, man, we're going to come down. Can we get a picture with you? My nephew loves you. And when Danny took a picture with him, it felt like when I was at Montgomery Ward's at Villa Italia when John Elway was signing autographs. I was like, well, but he literally, Joe, it would have, I should have captured it. But he was so happy, man. He was so happy.
You did capture it with
and making him just feel happy about his experience. I've done this before. We've been here before. We know what to expect. And I like bringing newbies to Las Vegas because they don't understand the whole dynamic and how it breaks down. But other than that, man, I went to the press conference on Thursday night. Beautiful location at T-Mobile. That's where the weigh-ins and the press conference was at. Had a great time there. Everybody welcomed me with open arms. Again, not credentialized, just on my own dime. It was open to the public. And then last night, man, we went and watched the fights over this place called Ojos Locos. It was over on the convention center, close to UNLV. And it was kind of a local, not I want to say dive because nothing's a dive.
Hangout.
Man, it was great. We had a music band, we had mariachi, we had tons of great drinks, food. Ubers were flowing left and right. It was just one of those nights you go, wow, I got to come back again.
Only in
And
Vegas,
you will be
baby.
back with me, Joe. You'll be back with me again, Joe.
I will be very soon, man. Hey, real quick, man, just a couple of statistics that popped up as I'm here at number 38 watching many of the televisions. I believe there's over 50 here. Well, NFL Today on Nate Burleson with a couple points. 64.3% of the teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. Now, that's a pretty impressive stat.
I don't want to start that crap,
look, man.
man.
Let me just say that right now. Well, look, man, that's what we do, right? We analyze this each and every week.
But
We are the NFL
everything affects every team on a different
I
level.
get it.
Though,
Listen,
Joe.
man, I'm just saying these early games matter. People, I think this is the problem with the NFL, and it came back to bite the Cincinnati Bengals more than once in the last few years. You can have a great team, but you do these games in September count. What do you say? They might not matter, but they count. Well, they do count in September.
Every game counts.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, man, these boring games, these games where you know this isn't your best football team. I mean, these guys get better every week, right? They're designed to practice, and every week you're not going to look at the same team, Alex, in January as you have in right now. Let me ask you this right now, okay, because we're going to get ready to go to break here in about 2 minutes. Anything that scares you about this game? I mean, one, it's on the road, so I'm always scared when the Broncos are playing. And two, I think the Indianapolis Colts are getting no credit this week. They're, like you said, isn't it a little disrespectful? 2.5-point underdog on their own turf.
Yeah, I believe Indianapolis is first time in 10 games. They're 1-0. They're 1-0. So they got a lot of momentum building that way. I think Daniel Jones does scare me. Jonathan Taylor scares me a lot because once you establish one, it's hard to really compete against anybody. I don't think the Broncos will allow much rushing yards, but the ability for Daniel Jones to get out of the pocket, that scares me. But again, we have a great defense, you know. Those are the things that scare me. Bo Nix will be fine. Little dink and dunk, because that's pretty much what he did at Oregon, Joe. Dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. How about some passes down the field? All right. A little more consistency with that, Joe. That's what I'm scared of, that the Broncos are unable to pass the ball down the field if the defense really starts crushing in on him and closing in on Bo Nix. Bo Nix has an opportunity to rebound from week one, you know, and kind of solidify himself more as a captain. He was on Sean Payton's ear on the sidelines. I see that. That's important. Those kind of conversations on the sideline, Joe, means something because you're not taking nobody's crap. I'm the leader of the team, Joe. That's how it works. And that's how I look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix is the leader of the team. If a play comes in and you don't like it, yeah, switch it up if you have to. Deal with the consequences later. Because those guys aren't the ones that are playing and taking live hits. If Bo Nix sees that there's a cornerback that can't cover Cortland Sutton, or Marvin Mims is on a flank and he's by himself, he has to have the ability to say, you know what, I'm checking down out of that call and I want to go deep to Mims, or I want to hit a Sutton right in the middle. I mean, there's so many different things that Bo Nix can today take control of.
Well, first of all, I just got a text from our great friend Troy Renck. So we are going to hit the break. He is coming up here in 4 minutos. Alex, great points. And what does Troy Renck think? 1, about the Broncos' chances in Indy. 2, how do you like the fight? What was his thoughts on Crawford Canelo? And 3, what is going on up in Boulder, his alma mater? We'll ask Troy Renck all of those and much, much more when you return to The Final Word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top-notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Spartans! What is your profession? Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is Sparta!
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000 foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with Highlands agave, and it's superior to Lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
All right, we are back at the final word. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez, and it is always time at this time, 11:05 each and every Sunday, to talk with our good friend Troy Renck from the Denver Post. And Troy, are you in Indianapolis?
I am. I'm getting ready. I'm about a block away from the stadium, guys.
Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what, the Broncos today take on the Indianapolis Colts. And, you know, Troy, when I looked at the schedule, and I think we all do it, right? When the NFL schedule comes out, it's win, loss, win, loss. I'll be honest, I had this down as a sure W. And it wasn't until probably last Sunday, when I saw Daniel Jones and this Colts defense that I started having a little bit of trepidation about my W. So I did a little bit of research, and I don't like what I saw. One, I looked at last year's game where they had just Anthony Richardson, a very pedestrian quarterback who didn't play very well in the game. And the Colts, without a Jonathan Taylor mishap of dropping the ball a little bit early before crossing the goal line, would have been up 20-7 in Denver at Empower Field. So now, this game is not in Denver. It's in Indianapolis. And Daniel Jones looks like maybe an improvement at quarterback for the Colts. Where are you at with this game? Because I certainly don't have it as sure W today at all.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game, and it's an important game when you look at the upcoming schedule. When you go to the Chargers, you got the Bengals on Monday night, and then you go to the Eagles. You really can't afford to give this game back in the standings in terms of winning the AFC West. As much as Daniel Jones played better in his Colts debut, I'm pumping the brakes a little on that. The guy's a turnover machine. He went through quarterback rehab in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. He obviously has hit it off with Shane Steichen. But I believe the pressure the Broncos defense can create on him will lead to at least 2 turnovers. And that's the key. They were the Broncos. No team played worse in a victory last week than the Broncos in terms of 4 turnovers. You can't do that on the road. You will get demolished. I expect them, Joe, the antidote is run the football, control the clock, as Alex brought up, more conservative passing game, great play action to look for the big strikes. But I don't see a situation like last week where the first, of 21 plays, the first 17 were pass plays. You can't do that on the road. You can't be throwing 22 times at half as they did last week. So look for a more balanced attack to allow the defense then to win this game late. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be greasy. But Daniel Jones is a turnover machine. That is where this game can be won, is the defense getting 2 to 3 takeaways.
You are listening to Troy Renck, our insider, our guru, our man, the myth, the legend, Troy Renck, the New York Post. He's out in Indy. I'm in Vegas right now. I don't want to dive into the fight just yet. But I'm going to ask you, because Daniel Jones, according to Kurt Warner when he was on Rich Eisen's show this past week, said he made the most improvement and he was the most impressed quarterback over the weekend. How does that bode for the Broncos? Yes, the Broncos really came out, Cam Ward, but is this a different game? Obviously, different scenery. Tell me how the Broncos stopped Daniel Jones from getting out of the pocket and running like a crazy man.
Yeah, you do a little bit of that kind of mess rush where you get upfield and you hold the edge. You've got to keep him in the middle of the field. He's dangerous when he gets outside. He runs a lot like Bo Nix. He's older than Bo, obviously. But when he gets outside, he's got some serious speed. He will also turn the ball over, though, when he runs, when you tackle him. But you got to rush upfield. You can't cut and be selfish and cut across. So look for Bonito and Cooper to get upfield. And the key's going to be the interior. If Zach Allen wins consistently, and the Broncos do have an advantage O-line, D-line in this game, if Zach Allen and DJ Jones win up front, causes Jones to get off point, that's where Bonito and Cooper show up. But again, when you look at Jones, they're going to probably be a little more conservative. This Miami team they played, I don't know that I've ever seen a team in the opener give less of a crap about a game than Miami did. That was a 1-2-3 Cancun game. I mean, they basically quit in the second half.
Yeah,
so
did.
It's hard to tell, are the Colts really better than we think, or did Miami just check out? And I think it's probably a little of both. But the defense has got to control the day, and they're going to be aggressive. There's going to be a few plays you guys watch, big plays. You're like, oh my God, how? And Tyler Warren, the tight end they got from Penn State, Broncos, they struggle with that. No Dre Greenlaw to help cover that. But I still think at the end of the day, the pressure they're going to get on him, Jones, is going to lead to picks, because his history tells you he will force the ball. He will put the ball on the ground. And don't be afraid to first 1 to 21 wins. You don't have to score 30 points to win this game. You can win 21-17. You can win 23-20. That, to me, is the blueprint.
Well, I think the blueprint would then require 2 things that I'm not sure is going to happen. One, that Sean Payton stays patient with the running game. I think sometimes he gets a little enamored and a little cute. I mean, just my experience over the last 3 years, he's not the most patient guy with the running game. RJ Harvey had 70 yards and 6 carries. That's 11.5. And I understand those are skewed a little bit by a 50-yard run, but still, J.K. Dobbins, 19-yard touchdown run. I think Bo Nix struggled. I think this is going to be a very close football game. I think you're delusional to think that all of a sudden in week 2, the Broncos offense is just going to snap of fingers and throw up a 40 spot. Yeah, maybe they can get to 21. But the other thing is they've got to stop Jonathan Taylor, one of the best backs in the league, and a guy that I think, short that run where he dropped the ball was at the end of, I believe, like a 40 or 50-yard breakaway that would have counted for, I think, maybe a nail in the coffin type punch. I mean, that was late in the second quarter, if I remember. So I don't think this is a gimme game. I think this is a great test for the Broncos. And if they don't win this game, you mentioned, Troy, that schedule doesn't not do them any favors the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, when you talk about Taylor, again, if he scores that touchdown in Mile High, I think the Colts do win that game. As bad as Anthony Richardson was, I mean, he made Tim Tebow look more accurate than a DNA test. Anthony Richardson is terrible. Like he's inaccurate. And I think he finished the season.
He's so young though, Troy. He's so young.
Yeah, I'm not saying you give up on him, but you can't win in the NFL without like 63% accuracy. Yeah. But the point here is, as you brought up, Joe, the Broncos always look to make a quarterback one-dimensional, and they're going to sell out to stop the run early because a steady diet of Jonathan Taylor is a way to lose this game. There's always ways to lose road games is when you can't control the run game and you kick field goals instead of score touchdowns. Because you get into the field goal game, you eventually don't have last possession and you lose. I've seen the Broncos lose a game here when Joe Flacco was the quarterback way back in the day, trying to kick field goals and lost on a last-second field goal. I saw them win here with Brock Osweiler. That was Vance Joseph's only road win of what was, I think, 2016 or 17. So 17, I've seen good and bad here. It's a loud place if you allow it to be. These fans want to be excited, but they're not totally buying into this team. They have this motto here for the city, for the boss, Jim Irsay, who passed away, for the shoe. They're trying to drum up that this season is special to them. And if you get behind 17-3, 14-0, this is not a place to rally because it does get really loud. But again, slow Taylor. You're not going to stop Taylor. Slow Taylor, make Daniel Jones beat you. I just don't think he can beat this defense. And if Bo Nix doesn't turn the ball over, protects the ball, that's how you win. If Bo turns the ball over, Broncos aren't winning this game. He's got to play clean, and he knows that. He's got to chase precision, not perfection, guys. Because perfection, it's allowing him to take chances and try and be a little tentative at times as well. He's got to strike the balance. Be precise, not perfect.
Let's put a bow on this Broncos segment. Prediction time before we move on to other topics. Troy, who wins today? And do we cover? Because last week, that 8.5, half a point, man.
Kind of fishy.
Vegas always knows. Alex knows.
We don't kick a field goal.
Sometimes you got to hedge that, but man, that 8.5, man, whoever was smart enough to just go ahead. Your thoughts. Who wins today?
What is the line, Alex? Is it still 3?
2.
2.5.
Nick's 2.5.
2.5. Yeah. Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is Broncos 23-20, so I have them covering on a field goal. But again, they could lose a close game here. I'm not terribly confident. I just know they understand the importance of a fast start. And if you lose this game, now all of a sudden you've got to win at the Chargers or at the Eagles to kind of pick a game back up, because I think they can beat the Bengals at home on a Monday night. But if you lose this, now you're going to have to win a game you probably don't expect to win. And they understand that. They have talked about the importance of a fast start for months, literally since last season ended. So I'd be surprised if they don't play a cleaner version of football today and win a close one.
I'm going to save the fight for Alex. Let's move up to Boulder, your alma mater. And Friday night, it didn't look good. I can't say. I don't know if it was the worst game of the Coach Prime era, but it was up there. It was a top 5 worst game of the Coach Prime era, and he said as much afterwards. He wasn't sugarcoating. I give him credit for his 100% honesty. And, I think he did it in a much different way than maybe. I think he showed a little growth in the way that he showed some self acceptance for the blame. So let's start with what went wrong. And there was a lot. Give me a few things that you think that are going to be worked on tremendously in practice this week, because there were just too many to just list one.
Yeah, when Coach Prime said after the game that he was kind of dumbfounded and said, "What did you guys see?" So I volunteered my advice on Twitter. I'm sure he uses it. They don't stop the run. They don't run the football well enough. Anytime they play a physical team, they get their ass kicked. And they have a coordinator in Pat Shurmur who doesn't know how to get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and he's coached the athleticism out of Caden Salter. So at this point, at some point soon, you got to look at it and say, do you play Juju Lewis to figure out what you've got there? Because I'm worried you're going to lose Lewis and Seaton at the end of this season. Now, it just, to me, everyone's like, Staub, he's a great story. And listen, I'm not taking away from Staub, but I blame Shurmur that his offense is complicated enough that Staub's the only guy that can get on the field? Really?
Yeah.
You're telling me Staub is a better player than Caden Salters and Juju Lewis? I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. And it's on Shurmur to figure that out. And then by property, it's on Dion. He keeps saying, oh, we got to coach better. We got to do. No, you need to go to your offensive coordinator and say, this is what we're going to do. Stop pretending you're not involved in this. When he hired Shurmur, none of us liked it to cover the Broncos. I've watched him ruin quarterbacks' careers for the better part of 2 decades. So to me, it was an uninspired hire. And so when you ask me, what do they have to do better? It starts up front. They've got to take it personally, O-line, D-line. And until they get better there, I don't know if they can get to a bowl now, because that schedule looks way tougher than it did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that offensive line at best was suspect. But to your point, though, Troy, Seaton is going to stay, man. He has to, because he has one more year and he'll be the number 1 pick in the left tackle position. The guy's a monster. You've seen him up close. He's lost all his baby fat from his freshman year. He's an animal. He's going to be a guy who's going to be anchoring the Buffs, and it would make no sense for him to leave. Now, as far as the other quarterbacks, you're right. Let's get Juju in, because you know what? These guys now have a tendency. If I'm not playing, I'm not getting my love, I'm going to go to another school. That's fine. Caden Salter was in a bad situation because he's a 5th-year quarterback, at a Liberty. Yes, is the best that we have is the third stringer, because he was part of Shurmur's system for the last 3 years, and he understands whatever the hell he's trying to do. But that didn't work either. And I think one of the things that really popped out at me when I was watching the press conference is Dion was disappointed not only with the preparation, because he said they had a great preparation week, but I think he was disappointed with his coaches, his staff, definitely his players, and Dion is not used to losing, especially like that.
Well, and he doesn't have Shadur and Travis Hunter to camouflage the blemishes. Like, those guys could make up for a lot of mistakes in a lot of areas, and you could go win a game 33-30 because of those two. Who on their team right now would you say, oh man, that guy can help them win a game? I'm talking like they don't have that on offense. Now they have a couple guys on defense I like, including McKinney. He's an NFL player. But on the offense right now, outside of Seaton, who's an NFL player? I mean, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that the scheme, then you have to coach up the scheme. You have to allow the scheme to make the players better. And right now it feels like the scheme's holding the players back. And that's what's frustrating. And it's not personal with Shurmur. It's not. It's just he has a history of 2 decades as a coordinator in the NFL and college of having like 4 good offenses. You know what that record gets you? GM of the Rockies.
Yeah. Troy, you're on one. Maybe you should be in Vegas. Troy, doing some stand-up, buddy. Hey, before Alex gets to the fight, let me ask you just to start transitioning over to the Canelo Crawford fight. A lot of times I've heard boxing's dead. I've heard it over probably 10 times over the last 20 years. This is the end of boxing. This is the end of boxing. But when I looked at the crowd last night at Allegiant Stadium, it was full. And there was a lot of enthusiasm at different parts. I didn't think it was a great fight. I watched every round of the fight, and I didn't think it was a great fight. Certainly not even in my top 10. But I didn't think – my reaction is boxing isn't dead. And that if you have the big enough fights, but I think two things boxing needs to do better. One, these guys need to meet before they're 37 and 35. They need to meet closer to their prime in their late 20s, mid 20s, like some of the great fights we all grew up with in the late 80s or the 80s to about 2000. Tons of fights. But now pay-per-view has just made this so specialized, and it takes years because these guys don't want to lose what they have, so they have set-up fights and specialized pan-pick fights. What do you guys suggest? I'll ask you both. What do you did this save boxing, or is boxing back, or what does boxing got to do to play off this and take it from here?
Well, real quick, boxing,
go ahead.
it's going to struggle to be back until the heavyweight title means something.
Yeah.
I mean, those of us who grew up watching it, when you don't have a true heavyweight and you walk on the street and no one can name the heavyweight champion of the world like we could back in the day with Ali, Norton, Frazier, even Tyson.
Well said, man.
Larry
Well
Holmes.
said.
So that hurts, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, you nailed it. Like these fights happening, whether it's Pacquiao, whether it's this fight with Crawford, they happen too late. Like when I grew up, you saw Sugar Ray Leonard fighting Marvin Hagler in their prime. And those fights were like Rocky with the number of punches they were landing. So Joe was there live. Boxing's not dead. It's just, like baseball's changed. I mean, the demographics changed. UFC certainly has played a role in this because it's more violent and guys fight more frequently. But to me, this is me personally, when you don't have a heavyweight champion to kind of sell the sport, then you're selling it on other guys who are great fighters, but you kind of have to be in the weeds to know that.
Yeah, you really do. And you know what's interesting? I was at the press conference, and one of the things I really took away from this weekend, this event, is the partnership that Daddy Dana White joined up with Turki Al-Rashid, the chairman and president of the Saudi Arabian Boxing Federation, teamed up with Dana, UFC, Ring Magazine. By the way, I didn't even know Ring Magazine was giving out a belt, but hey, they're that reputable.
Sweet belt too.
Oh, sick, dude. I saw it last night. But listen, there was a question at the press conference. Univision. I'll do it in Spanish and then I'll give it to you in English. Fue reportado que Canelo va a ganar un estimado dinero de $100 millones. Translation.
Kilo,
guys, hey, yeah, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you both, man. I said, Canelo, you were going to make $100 million in this fight. And Turkey answer goes, no, more than that. It's $150 million 3-fight contract that he has signed with Turki Al-Rashid, and this boxing stuff is not going anywhere. But here's the thing: everybody was banking on Canelo last night, and everybody, all my family, my friends, were asking me, "What do you think?" And I'm not doing this as an afterthought. Say, hey, I told you, because I'm not that guy. But I'm telling you, all my family, Los Dos Potrillos, the owner, he's like, "Hey, I want to put some big money on this fight." And I said, you know what? My heart's with Canelo because it's Mexican Independence Weekend, but my money's with Crawford. It's like, no, primo, no. Guess what happened? And I'm not saying I'm right or you wrong or anybody. Boxing is back. This was called a once-in-a-lifetime fight. These fights, they were comparing them. They were dubbing them earlier, even the press conference, to 78 with Ali and Spinks were fighting. Fighters that, fights that really meant something, stood for legacy. And Max Kellerman did a great job last night illustrating how one fight could change the trajectory of both of these fighters in so many different ways. Forget about what Canelo's done, because if he wins, he's the last two-decade champ, he's the most celebrated guy. But guess what? That didn't happen. Now Crawford gets it. I'm not saying he's on Mount Rushmore for the boxing, but guess what? It takes away from Canelo's legacy. And at this point, if Crawford does not win one more fight, that's okay. Because you know what? He beat Canelo. He beat the great Mexican champion in Las Vegas on freaking Independence Weekend. That means something. That stands for a lot, Troy.
Yeah, I mean, Crawford's a technician, man. He's one of those tough guys to fight. I don't want to say he's Mayweather. That's what part of the problem, like when Mayweather was the dominant fighter, he was hard to watch because he was you couldn't hit him. and he
Right.
wasn't particularly interested in hitting either. But no one ever touched him. So that's what I say. I grew up on Hagler and Hearns and these guys, and Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. I mean, these guys are dropping bombs on each other. But yeah, Canelo's a great fighter. I would hope this doesn't, diminish his legacy. It's just when you start getting into your late 30s, I mean, I can't believe Pacquiao is still fighting, but it's just hard to do it at this level when you're an older fighter. And I wish I would have seen this fight earlier. I wish it didn't have to. But I hope you're right, Alex. I love boxing. I used to watch it with my grandparents growing up, and you just kind of lose interest. And I'm not really a UFC guy. I've been to a couple events. I don't dislike it. It's just I don't watch it regularly like some of my friends. I was a boxing guy, and I want boxing to matter. So I hope you're right that this event kind of jump starts it and gets people interested in boxing again.
Well, now that Canelo lost, obviously now he has 2 more fights with the Saudis, and obviously they got to do a rematch. They asked him last night after the fight, and if that goes another way, a trilogy. So this could be on for 3 or 4 years. But at the end of the day, if you don't have these kind of fighters that do it and step up, and Canelo, hey, he's my guy. He's Mexican, but everything's been coddled to him. Other fighters have to pick up weight just to fight him because he's a king. So you have to get into his realm, and guess what? Last night, Crawford got in his area, and he took care of him, man. And it wasn't even close, man. He outclassed him. That second round punch when he just walked into that punch. After that, I was like, you know what? This one's done.
Well, the whole fight. I mean, I watched the entire fight, and you know what? It was a dominant performance. But I'll say this: Canelo. I don't want to say he walked away a couple times in the ring. He actually walked away from Terrence Crawford. And I think that was a sign of frustration that Terrence, much like Roberto Duran when he threw the no mas. Yeah. I really think that Canelo thought of literally, because I think Canelo at some point said, I'm not beating him, and I think we all have been in that realm of the ring where you knew one fighter, and I think the fighter knows. If we know it watching at home, obviously the guys in the ring know too, right? And I think Canelo realized around round 3, Alex, when he took that straight left right to the face, and Terrence Crawford hurt him. Round two. I think once he knew Terrence Crawford hit him with a lot of respect shots where he wasn't knocking him out, but he earned Canelo's respect and kept Canelo at a distance, which I think many people had in question whenever a guy moves up 2 weight classes, whether he can keep the bigger guy off of him. And he did. And he did a masterful job. As you said also, Troy, much like Mayweather and Sweet Pea Whitaker before him, running around the ring with master technician, tons of ducks, weaves, core exercises you and I can't do anymore, Troy. I promise you that. Alex, maybe, of course, because he's in just incredible shape. But, anyway, at the end of the day, Troy, thanks so much. Hey, by the way, before we get you out of here, what's coming up this week? How do they get your content, your great podcasts, and, of course, all the articles on the Denver Post?
I would encourage, I rarely do this, but I have a column out today about my dad racing at Bonneville. I
saw that this morning.
Cool.
Yeah, he's 83. He spun out going 250 miles per hour. He has 6 records out there. He was going for the 7th. He didn't get the 7th, but he's not ready to retire yet. So if you're interested in motorsports or just a story about resiliency, I would encourage you and ask you humbly to read that. I'll have a Broncos podcast either late tonight or early tomorrow morning on this game, which has become a critical game for the Broncos, and be back out at Dove Valley on Wednesday writing about either the quarterback or the story of the week. But you guys are the best. Can't wait to get over here and see how this one plays out. This is an important game early in the season for the Broncos.
Well, all right. That's the great Troy Renck. Follow him on Twitter at Troy Renck. And Alex, you have a great flight back from Vegas, man. We love both of you, and we'll talk to you both next week.
Love this guy. Love that guy. Love that guy in the middle, man. He just tells you what it is. He's not giving you any financial specials today where we can drop the mortgage. So
that's next week. Troy, let's chill for a few weeks before we ask Troy to start putting heavy conditions on his betting.
He told me that. He told me got my 401k and it draft for it, man.
Troy, hold on.
You should have kicked your field goal on 4th and 8, and you would have had it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people very upset. Troy, we have Tony Thompson. He's the owner of the Colorado Spartans. I'd love for you to come down, maybe a bye week or something, or a road game. Come down and meet Tony and
do a story on him.
attention,
for
man.
sure.
They are great. They went to the playoffs in their first year. I do the color commentary. Alex does the in-house arena. The Spartans really would be a great product, man. They did. What did they go, Alex? 9-3 their first year, I believe it was.
Yeah, we missed the Super Bowl or the Arena Bowl by one field goal.
Yeah, man, a missed kick, man. But anyway, it'd be great for you to meet Tony. He's a big fan, like many of us here, Troy, and all of our followers are big-time followers of Troy Renck.
You got it, guys. Look forward
Thanks,
to it.
brother.
Take care. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
Hey, be
All right,
safe,
guys.
Andy. That
Be good.
is great, Troy Renck. Once again, follow him on Twitter at Troy Renck. And my big left tackle, El Guapo Suavecito Caballero. You make sure and be careful on your flight back home from Vegas. Great job all week in your coverage. All right, when we get back, Tony Thompson, the owner of the Colorado Spartans, he'll be here, and he's brought a special guest. We'll hear from him when you return to the final word on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000 foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with Highlands agave, and it's superior to Lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. Spartans! What is your profession? This is blasphemy. This is madness. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. is Sparta!
Video.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
I played with arguably the best corner to ever lace him up in Champ Bailey. And guess what? He too was victimized by certain plays, but he never gave up. And that's what I see in PS2, right? The idea of never giving up. Yes, you may get beat, but he is a complete corner.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez here on The Final Word. And today we have such the privilege of speaking to our great friend. He's back, Tony Thompson, the owner of the Colorado Spartans. And Tony, first of all, it's so great to have you back in studio. The off season has begun. And, you know, as usual, the Spartans, let's take a step back real quick and kind of give everybody who's listening for the first time a little background. The Spartans last year were Denver's new indoor arena team. They've been in Colorado playing 2 years now. I believe your first year was in Loveland, and then you came over here to Denver, and you played in the Denver Coliseum last year. I was the color commentator for the Spartans. Our producer, Nick Arch, was the play-by-play guy. My co-host, who's normally where Mike sits, Alex Ramirez, he did the in-arena announcing. And I was thrilled to be part of such a great organization. You killed it your rookie year. You guys were the talk of the league and came within a missed field goal of hosting and probably winning a divisional round or a championship game or a conference championship and a trip to the what would it have been called? Would it have been the Arena Bowl or the Arena Bowl? Because I guess no matter what league you play, it's the Arena Bowl at the end. So, talk a little bit about what a great first year you guys had in Denver. You see the Spartans helmet. I love the uniform. Still the best uniforms in the NAL by far. Yeah. But how proud of you were you of your team that you assembled? And boy, what an introduction to Denver. It was just a whirlwind.
Yeah, no, it's man, the excitement that we had at the end of the season. We had some players get some awards that the whole league put on notice, as far as we had the offensive rookie of the year, the defensive rookie of the year, league leaders in sacks, defensive player of the year, special teams player of the year. But overall, we had a lot of good X's and O's that were out there, but there's always room for improvement. And that's all we've been doing. Like you said, talking about this offseason, I'm extremely proud of what we did and what we accomplished. We fell short by a sliver of an upright. People don't realize that arena football, the uprights are so narrow.
Oh yeah. So, it's not the same kick as the NFL at all.
So he just missed that last kick, but we're that close. But to get over the hump, we had to bring in some key players. And so we're going to start doing announcements. We're going to wait till the end of the month, and then everybody else is announcing who they're signing right now. We're going to let that get out of the way. Plus, the NFL just started. So there's a lot of excitement here going on. But we have a big announcement coming up next week, who we're bringing back first and foremost. And so if you follow the Spartans, you probably know who that is. But the excitement about the players that we have coming in, we're going to have some guys that we'll say there's a school down the road that's pretty dang close, it's popular, that we brought some of those seniors from last year that we just got under contract. So pretty excited about what we got coming forward for the 2026 season in Denver.
Well, what's great about the Spartans is they have so many wonderful partners, and you brought one of yours with you today. And it's really a great friend of the organization. It's Mike from Red's Auto and Truck in Longmont. They sales and service. And, I will say this, the partnerships with the Spartans, Tony has done such a great job of making sure everybody gets their full value. And I think not only on the field, because I think the Spartans were great value for anybody who either bought a ticket or got into, as a VIP guest. You were really entertained by this organization. And I think for the sponsors, just seeing all the organizations like Mike's, it was a full-blown effort from everybody. You want to, thank Mike, and we'll let Mike speak a little bit about his great business.
And what I want to say about, our corporate partners like Mike, again, we found him up in Longmont, but we become, how do I say, we're not so corporate where, I'm the owner, but you can talk to me, and Mike's talked to me, and we want to do some fun on-field promos. We got his cool Hummer on the field. His girls delivered the game ball one game. But that type of stuff that we do because I need to connect with them. And I appreciate just good partners like Mike being there, what I call like a blueprint season, where we're figuring things out. What works best in the Denver Coliseum, what doesn't work best. There's no blueprint to start an arena football team, but we need good partners like Mike. And he's going to come back for 2026. He's one of the first people we signed back for 2026. So
that's excellent. Mike. Excellent stuff. Mike, let's talk a little bit about Red's Auto and Truck sales and service. And, Longmont, first of all, is growing. So, if you're up north and you're looking for a vehicle, the first thing I ever think of is I can't afford a new car. The very first thing I think of in my lifetime is I can't afford it. I can't afford a $700 payment, and I don't want the insurance to go up. So the first thing I always do, and maybe it's because I'm in my 50s and I just buy cars differently now than I did in my 20s, is I just think of, okay, between $7,000 to $15,000, if I have cash or I got 20 grand in my pocket, what can I get? And, I think a lot of people buy cars that way these days. I'm not saying that every car in your lot has to be priced that way, or that there isn't financing available, or that nobody buys any cars that are new. None of that's true. But me, Joe Rico, looks like somebody who would be a prospective customer and the people of our show. Talk about your inventory a little bit and kind of how easy it is to buy a car from you.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. I mean, we've been doing this since 1974. We're family owned and operated.
Well, my dad sold cars since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we pride ourselves on having something for everybody. We understand there's budgets and not everyone can afford, 50, 60, 70,000. So if you go to my website, redsautoandtruck.com, I mean, you're going to see cars as low as $59.99.
Wow.
Up to $150,000. So we really pride ourselves on having something for everybody, kind of like the Colorado Spartans. You're going to go to a Spartans game and there's something for everybody there. That's why we're proud to partner with Tony and the Spartans. They remind me a lot of us, local. I'm the owner. Tony's the owner. He's in the trenches. He's doing things. He's making sure his fans are happy. His corporate partners are happy. And that's kind of what we do. We want to make sure our customers are happy. All the success Tony had last year. I mean, it just hits home with me. We're the 2019 and 2020 Colorado Independent Auto Dealer of the Year. We're the only dealer in Colorado history to win that 2 years in a row.
And
So-
I want to add in that one thing that separates Mike and what they do is the community involvement. Not to say there's dealers don't give back.
Sure.
But I know that he's genuine when he reaches out to and does stuff in the community. We're partnering on the one at an elementary school coming up. What day was it on?
That is next Saturday.
Next Saturday with
Next
elementary
Saturday.
students. We're going to be out there signing some autographs, taking pictures, give away some footballs and some tickets and stuff. But because of Mike introducing me, I don't know. I think there's like 350 kids or something like that are going to be there. So we're going to impact a lot of little kids.
So a couple things, because, any fam, we've joined the Spartans and, it's kind of been family. And the one thing, the final words of small business, Alex and I own this show, and we started in 2013. And we started with just a dream. We've been buddies for about 25 years, just, having a few beers over at the condo. Like, hey, man, what you want to have a sports show? And boom, and now 13 years later, we've been to the Super Bowl. We've really worked our butt off, frankly, to raise our profile. And the one common denominator I can already see in you is you've worked your butt off. Nobody's giving you anything. And I think that really says a lot about people's value systems. You probably do consider, when somebody tells me they have a car in their lot for $59.95, it makes me think they actually consider, they read the room a little bit about, hey man, not everybody does have that. Half the reason people can't visit a car lot is if you only have $9,500 and you turn on the internet and go to Facebook Marketplace, we got about 2 cars to choose from. And, not to say that, and those cars are not like a car that would be at like Red's Auto and Truck, where they check the car, where they look at the car, where they have a service department that goes and inspects the vehicle. And I'm not going to get into warranties or anything at this point, but my point is, you seem like a guy, Mike, that I would buy a car from. Tell everybody a little bit about what kind of vehicle they're getting, whether it's $150,000 or whether it's a $12,000 car. You're going to get the same kind of respect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you come into my store, I mean, you're going to probably more than likely meet me and one of my team. All my team's been with me for a lot of years. We pride ourselves on taking care of our clients. Whether you're buying that $59.99 car or that $150,000 car, you're going to get the same great service. We're going to back it with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty to take care of you. We don't have any hidden fees. You see all these fees of dealer handling.
Yeah. I know. We've all bought some cars before, crying out the door.
Absolutely no. We don't add any of those fees. We pride ourselves on a transparent buying process. A hassle-free buying process. When you come in and you work with us, our main goal is to make sure we're finding you and your family the right car. So you don't have to worry about, haggling on that price and what's going to be added on. And, oh my gosh, I'm going to go in that dreaded finance office and they're going to have, $2,000.
Oh, wait, I got to catch up because you just said the key word, finance office, because I'm sure some of the people listening and watching today, very rarely is anybody going to buy a car cash, especially not $159,000.
Absolutely.
How do you guys deal with many banks? I mean, how do you guys do? You can get a lot of people financed maybe that couldn't get financed, that type of stuff. And then you also reward the guys who have the 800 credit score.
Right. No, I mean, we have lenders that are there for every credit situation. We're partnered with most of your local credit unions and, your large lenders. But we do have some lenders that'll help those folks that maybe have missed a payment or two, or, maybe have a little high, credit card balance, but, they're good people and they just need a chance and they've got some money down. And yeah, we have lenders that are there to help those folks too. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony, because this is one of those days where, we do got to flip it over now to the Broncos. I mean, we've got about 2.5 hours. And what's great about Tony is he played ball at a high level. He played Division II football and probably could have played, Division One. Division One. It's FCS instead of whatever it is. And I apologize, it isn't. And he played at a program that might as well be Division One FB, like a Power 4 conference, because they've beaten Power 4 schools.
Go Jackrabbits.
Yeah, the Jackrabbits. And my point is, the hardest thing for buy-in is when the owner knows nothing about the business. And I mean, like it'd be like me. I love pizza. I love to make pizza. I can't talk. Me and you could talk pizza for years. You could talk cars with me for years. Him and I could talk football for years. I think what I love about the community partnerships, Alex and I have raised $750,000. We've had 14 Denver Bronco and Denver Nugget charity events. We'd love to partner, and we're going to partner. This year's our second year being the team for the Spartans as far as helping promote the team on social media. Our YouTube channel has over 32,000. Our Facebook page has 57,000. And the StreamYard total viewers is over 200,000 for every show now, all on video and available. We have 13 full-time partnerships and 3 seasonal partnerships, plus 2 charities that we support for free. Obviously, we don't try and make money off charities. We try and make money for charities. So I think that's there is a difference, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, Tony and I are doing some partnership. I'm the vice president of the Colorado Independent Auto Dealers Association charity fund.
Yep.
So, we have a big heart for our community. Tony has a big heart for the community. So,
that one I know.
Yeah, it's always good to partner with people with, the same heart, whether you're in the football business, the radio business, or the used car business.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to have partners and friends that share your same core values and have a heart for the community. So
Tony, Mike reminds me of the guys I grew up with at Bird Chevrolet. I mean, that doesn't exist anymore. It's an old time dealership out on Bellevue and Broadway. And I was a lot man when I was 11 years old. My dad sold 40 cars a month for 30 years. And he only worked for 2 dealerships, Burt and Stevenson, and they were good, honest people. My dad was a good guy, man. And I'm going to tell you, those days, it's kind of a little different now. I mean, the whole car game's changed a little bit. And what I would believe, and if you're listening today, if you're around the Longmont area, don't get into the big time dealership thing, because there's a thing called overhead. And let me tell you about overhead. The more you're paying for everything, that's passed right on to the people. Everyone pays the exact same price for a new car, people. By the way, everybody can get those inventories darn close for a new car. It's just, what do you charge those people? Used cars are a lot different. And I'm not going to give away all the secret sauce of the car business, because that's not fair to anybody to make it's not always, but most of these guys, I can already see a guy like Mike's an honest guy. And I have a feeling you're going to get a car at value, where you have something of value to walk out with, where you made a good deal. Let me tell you, that's very hard to come by anywhere in a car business.
Yeah, no, I mean, we pride ourselves on, we are a family-owned dealership. We're not a big corporate dealership. I'm in the store 6 days a week. My customers can come to me if they have a question, an issue, a problem. I mean, we help customers that didn't even buy something from us, that just have a question about the industry or about their purchase. I served several years on the Colorado dealer board.
Love it.
So, we're there to help our community and help our customers, and, really give you a good buying experience to maybe help the industry, because sometimes we don't have the best reputation. So we're proud that we can help our customers and help elevate that for our industry as a whole. I'm the president of the Colorado Independent Auto Dealers Association. So I have a true heart and passion for this industry, and I want to give back to this industry, and our employees want to give back. And we like to think we do things a little bit different, man.
Real quick, before we got to get going, as you can see, we have a couple people I want you to meet too. We have Jojo Pergola from Vinnola's, and we also have Bill Foss from Suavecito. Look, I've got to get you guys' prediction. Also, real quick, can you give everybody your contact information? Can I get a number? Can everybody get a number or a website where they can log on to check out the inventory? And if you mention the final word, I'll go ahead and personally say Mike will have something nice for you. If you mention our show, They'll do something nice for you in this car deal stuff here over the next week before the next show is up for the next week. Anyone mention the final word, just say you heard it on this show and you heard Mike, and he'll figure something out to make it a little better deal. We'll sweeten the pot a little bit for you.
Yeah, we got you. You can check us out at redsautoandtruck.com. You can reach us at 303-726-5520. And if you reach out to us and you mention the final word, we'll throw in 2 years of scheduled maintenance. Oil changes, tire rotation.
Man, now that's what I'm talking about right there. Let me tell you, we'd love to talk to you about our vision of what we do for our clients. And like I said, the main thing is we really are huge fans of the Spartans. Without this man, there isn't like a relationship at all between us or any of the people, that we've met through him. But I want to say this. All right, real quick, Broncos, Colts, they're in Indy. I think it's going to be a tough game. I'm on record that's saying Jonathan Taylor, that guy's no joke. I don't know about Daniel Jones. I trust the Broncos defense. I'm not sure. I didn't like the way Bo Nix looked. Real quick, you're the football expert. Your thoughts on the game for the Broncos, and then Mike, I'll ask for your pick.
I think they shut Indy's run game down.
Okay.
I believe in the D-line of the
Broncos.
All right.
I like it.
I'm a D-line guy, so I believe in the D-line of the Broncos. And led by Nick, obviously, but JJ now is one of those guys that I love as a D tackle. But I think they're going to shut that run game down. I'm going to go Broncos big by 21.
Oh, my goodness, wow. Tony Thompson, you're a lot more confident than Mike. He's way more confident than me, just so you know.
Confident. I mean, I know a lot more about used cars than I do about football. So I'm going to defer to my man, Tony, and I'm going to say Broncos by 14. Okay.
I love it. Mike, you know what you're talking about already, man. This is why this guy's great in the car business, man. It adjusts well to his customers. I'll tell you, I'm going to save mine because I've got, still a little bit of showtime left for those of us who are listening. Tony, real quick, for anybody who wants to get involved in sponsoring the Spartans, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you could simply check us out on Facebook or Instagram, just Colorado Spartans on both. Facebook and Instagram, Colorado Spartans. Or I give my cell phone out because, hey, just go ahead and call me.
He can, man.
970-800-2524. One more time, 970-800-2524. Text me if I missed your call. I'll get back to you.
And for those out there, you're not a sponsor. You're a corporate partner, man.
Yeah. I love it. And
Tony's here
perfect.
to help you grow and get you business and have fun and go to the game. So you're more than just a sponsor. You are a corporate partner. And, I feel like almost a member of the family now. I rode down here with Tony. So,
hey, man, I love it.
It's more than just a partnership.
Tony. I appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that is as solid as it gets. Make sure you check out our good friends at Reds Auto and Truck.
There you go.
Sales and service right out there at Longmont. Look them up. Definitely. You can recatch. Obviously, this is up all week. So make sure, if you have any problems, if you miss this, it'll be available. Mike gives the address and the location where you can go out and buy your next vehicle. All right. When we get back, Jojo Pergolo from Vinnola's, he's back. He was back by popular demand. This guy was on fire last time. We'll get his opinion on today's Bronco game and all the great specials coming up at Vinnola's Italian Market when you return to the final word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top-notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repair and hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000. And anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Spartans! What is your profession?
Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender.
This is Sparta! Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000-foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
All right, Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez back at the final word here live from number 38, NFL Week 2. And Nick, I think you have a couple reads for a couple of our partners for Mile High Sports.
Yeah, the Mile High Sports Studios at number 38 are presented by Volo Sports. We play so kids can play for free. Go to volosports.com to learn more. Also, they're brought to you by the Vimos Pay app. Vimos Pay app. Download for free to pay your tab, earn points, and win prizes. VimosPay.com.
Hey, thanks, Nick. And now we get to Bill Foss, owner, founder, and maker of my favorite drink on the planet, Suavecito Tequila. And Bill, first of all, I think Suavecito is an anti-aging medicine because you're the only man on the planet who gets younger every time I see him.
Right.
I do believe Suavecito has a lot to do with that. And second of all, every time the NFL gets going and you're here with Suavecito, yeah, I mean, I look at things through a different lens whenever you get to taste the warm, fuzzy cinnamon vanilla notes of the extra añejo. You know, talk a little bit about, because to me, you can have all the other 5 tequilas and they're great. Every single one of them is a crown jewel and the best in their class. I firmly believe that. But as a matter of preference, when somebody looks at everything, the finest in tequila has always been somebody's extra añejo because they age it the longest and they think their 3-year process is a big deal. Not at Suavecito. 5 years. That's right. I didn't stutter. 5 years in a Jim Beam whiskey barrel. And the flavor is unmatched. It is the only tequila that has been invited to a whiskey festival. I have seen my whiskey friends who swear they would never drink any whiskey, like Dr. Neck, and he loves whiskey. He drinks Suavecito Extra Añejo in his old-fashioned and his Manhattan, both drinks made with whiskey. You talk a little bit about the Extra Añejo. When did you first come up with it? I mean, you first just had, what'd you have? I mean, talk about the progression. How was it made? Is it the Blanco made first? I mean, then what? I mean, does everyone make a Blanco first?
Oh yeah, that's what it is. When you make tequila and it's done, it's completed its fermentation. It's completed, it's all of its processes. Tequila is white.
Yeah.
Okay. And in order to be a reposado or an añejo or an extra añejo, you have to age it in a barrel, and it has to get its color from the barrel. There's a few tequilas out there right now that a lot of people are finding out are cheating a little bit. They're putting food coloring to make it brown. They're putting other additives to make it sweeter. They're doing things which is not legal in the Tequila Regulatory Commission, and they're being found out and they're being changed. But the aging process, that's why we use Jim Beam whiskey barrels, because you have to get your color from the barrel. You can't add brown coloring. So we age it in those barrels. It gets that brown color quicker, faster. But to be a reposado, you got to be aged 2 months. We age it 9 months. We want it to be smoother. At 9 months, that's closer to our other tequilas, añejo, which is only 12 months. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how good our reposado is, and people love our reposado. To be an añejo, you got to be aged in the barrel 1 year. We age it 2 years. To be, and as you pointed out, to be an extra añejo, it's got to be aged in the barrel 3 years. We age it 5 years. So we extra age all of our tequilas to make them extra smooth and extra special.
Well, and you know what's funny is I used to think, oh, tequila, you got to mix it with something. You have to, because I was a baby, right? I mean, I had never really drank alcohol before, to be honest, other than beer. And, when I was in Germany, everybody drank beer. So I didn't have to really go out into the world and drink a lot. I just never got into drinking too much, because I didn't like the taste. I grew up with Jose Cuervo, the most disgusting tequila I've ever tasted. And I'm just going to be honest. I couldn't stand it. I did it just to get girls or do whatever you could to fit in with your friends right at the party.
Right.
And then I'd go and throw up. I mean, I would get violently sick. It was horrid. And, so when you first came and said tequila, I thought, oh my God, horror stories. And I took my first sip of Suavecito, and the first time I ever had anything, it was the añejo. And I fell in love. I said, well, wait, what's going on? I'm not sick. I don't have a hangover. I'm not, and I want more.
Yeah.
And you said, well, that's what everybody does. And I said, well, but that's not what it does when you drink Jose Cuervo. You said, this isn't Jose Cuervo. I said, well, okay, great. And 8 years later, I've been drinking this stuff. I told you already, and you know it. I would rather drink Suavecito tequila than drink water. If I could live off Suavecito, I would. And I think Bill would too. If you had to be 100% honest, he's the one who made it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and he's had more of it than anyone, only because you make it, you're down there, you have to be in Jalisco, Guadalajara, you're there, you've been on the premises. The video that you see, you shot there, you were there in the fields.
Oh, yeah.
And you're there with the pina, and I couldn't lift that pina. That pina looks like, I didn't really, we can talk about it, and that's one thing, but you see the Suavecito commercial on our show, and the dude who's looking at the penis, stabbing it with this big blade, and he's barely even making a dent. That's the kind of flavor. That's why it's the best tequila, is that pina. Can you talk a little bit about the Highlands agave and what that pina is? There's no water in that. It's all sugar.
Exactly. When I was looking to buy an agave farm, believe it or not, this was 23 years ago.
Wow.
I went to the University of Guadalajara, found the chairman of the agriculture department. He said, oh, the number one PhD in all of Mexico in agave is Dr. Luis Ramirez. He picked up his phone and says, doctor, come into my office. Okay. Doctor comes into the office. I had him on contract in 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the very next day, he wasn't teaching any classes. So we picked him up, showed him the 5 or 6 agave farms we'd already looked at. And he said, are you looking at anything else? And I said, well, we were told that there's a plot of land up in the mountains that take me there. That's all he said. And when we took him up into the foothills, the mountains, people here in Denver, 7,000 feet above ground doesn't sound so high because we're already a mile ourselves. But if you're in Mexico and
it's very high.
And at ground level, 7,000 is really high.
Sure.
So anyhow, and what happens is Mexico has the rainy season, and the rainy season is June through September. They'll get 40 inches of rain during those months. Every day it rains, not a lot, but they'll get, they'll get a half inch of rain every day, and they'll get 40 inches in those 3 months. Anyhow, my farm gets to 40 inches. My plants absorb as much of that rain as they can. The ground absorbs as much of that rain as it can, and the rest of the rain rolls down the mountain. Okay, so the farms that are on the bottom of the mountain that aren't on the mountain, they got the same 40 inches of rain I got, but then they got an additional 20 inches of runoff from the mountain. So when October comes around, my plants the sun's out, my plants are growing like crazy. They're doing great. Lowlands agave farms still have an inch of water all over the farm. Okay, now you have to grow your plants 6 to 8 years. And if you do this every year, you go through this rainy season. When the plants are finally harvested, my plants weigh about 40 pounds, that pina. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The lowlands agave weighs about 60 pounds. My pina is 100% sugar. The lowlands agave is 50% water. Okay. That's the difference between a highlands agave and lowlands agave. And only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave. So Suavecito starts off at the top of the list.
Well, first of all, it's been at the top of my list since the very first time I ever drank it. Nick, if you could, can you bring up the NFL scores? I'm going to ask to do a rundown here in a minute. Suavecito tequila is the best starting 5 in the history of drinking, period. You got the Blanco, the Reposado, the Cristalino, the Añejo, and the Extra Añejo. Also, you have the single barrel Añejo, which is a once a year thing that comes out. It's 106 or 50, 106 proof.
Right.
Yeah, 53% alcohol.
Correct.
And, at the end of the day, it's the best tequila I've ever tasted. What's funny is a few years ago, a mutual friend of ours, Joe Bruner, said, well, I love Suavecito, but there's not, I like the bite tequilas. Well, Joe Bruner never had the single barrel Añejo. And let me tell you, that not only had a bite, Joe, that was Dracula's cousin, because it killed me almost when I drank one sip. But I was addicted, and you just kept drinking. The dangerous
so
thing,
delicious.
You drink more and more. You almost can't stop yourself from drinking it, right?
Right, absolutely.
I couldn't. I said, I just want a couple sips. I had about 64 sips that day, and thank goodness Bernadette was driving. And by the way, whenever we talk about Suavecito, please make sure you have a designated driver. It's okay if you have a few Suavecitos, wonderful. Don't get behind the wheel of a car. That's not what we're saying at all. It's a great time. Make sure you're at a friend's house. Sit back, enjoy. And if you've had too many Suavecitos, sit back, spend the night at your buddies, do what you have to do, and we'll go ahead and you can live another day to drink some more, right? I mean, we're not endorsing drinking and driving. Bill never does anything like that. I love this guy. He's probably one of the best friends I've ever made in the 15 years of doing radio. I've known Bill over half of those years, almost 8 years together now. And I just want to say it's been a real honor to be not only one of our clients, but your friend.
Thank you. It's been great to be your guys' friends too. I've learned a lot about you, your radio show, all the people that support you, and you guys do a great job too. A very, very great job.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and get a prediction going. The Broncos are on the road this year, and it's this week, and it's a little different. They don't have the home crowd or anything. I don't know. I don't know what to make. The years that these teams are just 1-0 and 1-0, right? I mean, they don't really know a whole lot about what you're going to see today. What are your thoughts? I think the only thing I learned is I think the Broncos defense is going to be able to keep them in most of these games.
Oh, without a doubt about that. Our defense is outstanding. But what everybody knows, Bo Nix had a tough week last week. But realize he only played a few series in the preseason games.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was really his first preseason game, his first preseason whole game.
You're
so,
right.
So he should not, hopefully
the timing.
he got a lot of the kinks out. He'll improve a lot, and the mistakes that he made in the game, the coaches, had him practice to not make those mistakes again. And I've got a feeling Bo's going to play a lot better game today.
All right, so you got the Broncos today.
Oh, of course I do.
All right, you heard it from Bill Foss, the Blanco, the Reposado, the Cristalino, the Aneo, and the Extra Aneo, the best starting five in pro sports. Look, just log on to suavecitotequila.com. They'll punch in your zip code, or just head to your local Total Wine, and they have it. They'll take care of you immediately. The best before every Bronco game. Make sure you start with Suavecito. Bill, we love you, and we'll talk to you again next week. Coming up to wrap up the show, we have Jojo Pergolo from Vinnola's Italian Market. We'll get his prediction and tell you what's going on for the holidays with Vinnola's. Much, much more when you return to The Final Word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez, live at number 38 on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000-foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
All right, we are back. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez, the final word. We are here to wrap it up. Broncos, Colts, where they're going to get it going in about an hour and 45 minutes. Broncos looking to go 2-0. 64.3% of teams in the NFL that start 2-0 make the NFL playoffs. So I think every game in the beginning of the year, I think many times these teams overlook these games, figure they have some time. No, I think every game is just so vital when there's only 17 on the schedule. And at this time, I'd like to bring in our good friend Jojo Pergola from Vinnola's Italian Market, owner and operator. And Jojo, I'm going to say this. First of all, we were just talking and I counted 3 times my family's been already in the Vinnola's this week. I think we're addicted to the food and it's just so easy to become that way. And it's because you guys make such delicious Italian food, whether you're doing the catering or whether it's a great place for all your holiday parties, your office parties, make sure you consider Vinnola's first. And we'll tell you how to get a hold of Jojo and his staff for all that. But, football automatically makes me hungry, and so I started, especially the college game Saturdays. Now it's a ritual to go to Vinnola's, at about 10 o'clock, 10:30, you open, I believe, at 10:30, right, on Saturday.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yep.
And we got some big news on the hours too coming up. So you guys will be excited when you're hearing this as well.
For sure.
So one of the things is, I like to start my day at Vinnola's, and I'm a weirdo. Most Italian guys, we don't necessarily have a conventional breakfast. Me, I can eat a meatball sandwich or a sausage sandwich there for breakfast every day of the week. And then I like to get something for the bakery. But what's great is we were talking earlier, and there's some new items at the bakery that are on the menu. Can you talk a little bit about some of the new stuff going on today?
There are, Joe. There are. We're really excited. A lot of this has come from customer demand.
Yeah.
And, back for many years, the Pignoli cookie was a staple at Vinnola's.
Yeah.
From we've been there over 50 years now. For many years, it was a staple. Oh, probably it went away about 10 years, 12 years ago or so.
Yeah.
We weren't doing them anymore. And we were digging through old recipes from the Vinnola's, and we found the old original recipe for the Pignoli cookies, and we started making those, and I'm like, wow, these are actually pretty darn good.
Hey, man, I'm buying some tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So they're back in on a daily basis, and then for the first time that I know of, I don't know if we ever had them before, but we're also now doing a lobster tail, which is a really exciting addition.
Man.
They're good. They're the soft patachu on the inside, the crispy pastry shell, and then that sweet pastry cream that oozes out when you bite into it. Oh man, they're good.
That kind of stuff is something that I can only have a couple of because it gets dangerous. I mean, I've eaten like 3 or 4 of those types of things before, and the cookies, man, I'm good for a dozen. Easy, no problem. I'm down, and I've got a problem with them though. And the other thing is, what's great is, sometimes I think some of the most frustrating things is when you go by your favorite place and it's closed, and you get mad because people work all different kinds of schedules and shifts these days. And a lot of times it's not they don't want to go, they just aren't open when they're not available when you're open. But you made some changes to your store hours, and I think they're just going to be really exciting, especially with all the stuff that we always get for the holidays at Vinnola's. You're going to have some extended hours.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
We're really excited. It's been a long time coming, honestly. For as long as I've ever known, and I shopped there when I was little. It's been kind of a 9 to 5, 9 to 6 operation.
Yeah, sure.
And we've heard over the years from a lot of people that say, "Oh man, I'd love to get there, but by the time I get home from work, it's 6 o'clock. You guys close at 6, so I can't make it." Well, starting a week from tomorrow, next Monday, the 22nd, I believe it is, we're gonna expand hours, and we're gonna start staying open till 8 o'clock.
Wow!
Night, Monday
all right,
Saturday.
Excellent.
So we're gonna make it a little bit easier to get to. We're gonna make it so that people can. One of our biggest departments there are the take and bake items, lasagnas, stuffed shells, manicotti, the items to
my favorite, the pizzas.
Yeah, to take and bake your pizzas at home, things like that. So now we're going to be open. People can stop by on the way home from work. People can even get home from work and come on in. We'll make your food for you, whatever the case may be. But we'll be there till 8:00 starting next Monday.
Well,
Monday through Saturday. So
I hope my wife doesn't hear this right away, because it's going to cost me more money, because we live there already, and now she's going to be able to at 6:30 say, I don't want to cook. Come on, go up there and grab a pizza. And what's nice about it is when you love something and it tastes good, you don't mind. I don't care. It's not even so much the cost. It's just I don't have to cook. Nobody has to get off the couch. I can watch the game. I can watch the movie. I don't have to do anything but just pick up the phone and call. It'll be ready in a reasonable amount of time, and it's delicious. What else do you want? I mean, there's nothing else. And now you got that till 8:00 instead of 6.
Exactly.
So there's no excuse. Make sure you make it over there. You guys are right. You're 2 blocks west of 38th and Wadsworth, right on, I believe, 38th and Yarrow, right? That's the corner street?
Yeah, 38th right there. But which, by the way, the cones are starting to go away from that area.
Right.
So
yes.
It's been a long time coming. They've been working on Wadsworth for about 4.5 years now, and definitely a lot of people have been avoiding that area, which I can't blame them. But just within the last week or two, the cones have started disappearing that were on 38th, and they're starting to landscape all that road work they've been doing. So hopefully within the next
I think 2
short
weeks.
amount of time,
2 weeks or less.
Hopefully those cones disappear, and Wadsworth is going to be a safe place to
give
travel
us our
again.
street back, please. We've been waiting for years. Hey, Tony, give us 1 second here, because I don't want you to leave before we wrap it up. Tony Thompson making a cameo in the studio. Hey, all right, so we're gonna flip it over. We got a few minutes left. It is obviously Broncos week 2. You're in full gear, and I think the Broncos better be in full gear. I think when I was looking at the schedule, I said earlier, when I looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year, and we all do that, we're like, win, loss, win. And I thought the first 2 weeks, they were pretty sure wins. I thought they beat the Titans, which they did, but I didn't think they looked that impressive. And then, I think Indianapolis did look very impressive in their wins over Miami. And, earlier people have said, Troy Renck, different people who are smarter than me have said, well, not sure Daniel Jones can be that kind of guy again with a real defense in his face. He's known to turn the ball over quite a bit. What do you expect to see here in about an hour and a half as this game gets going in Indianapolis? I just think road games, it's always a little tougher.
It's tough. It's week 2 in the NFL. If you look historically, especially since, people stopped playing in preseason and everything, whatever happens in week 1, we think we got it figured out. And then week 2, the opposite happens. So it's we hope, last year it took Bo 3-4 games to get it figured out. Once he did, smooth sailing the rest of the way. He's got a year under his belt. Hopefully this year he can learn from his mistakes week 1. He didn't look the same week 1 as he did that last half of the year last year. He made a lot of throws off his back foot and things like that, thrown into some that he didn't look as sharp. So hopefully he's from all indications are he's a quick learner. He's going to learn from those. We're going to hop in here, and we're going to be able to, put up a little bit better showing on offense, and hopefully the defense, shows out like we expect. I'm saying it's a 50-50 game, to be honest with you, Joe, is what I don't, that is Miami as bad as they showed last week, or is Indy a little bit better than we thought they were this year? So it's going to be, it's exciting I'm excited to see, but I'm still saying the Broncos are going to pull it out, but it's not going to be like you said when you look at the schedule before the year starts, and we're only week 2 already. So how many of those predictions are we going to be changing?
Well, I think these are the kind of games you just want to win, because neither of these teams are all these teams, as far as execution, are going to be much further ahead in November and December, and it's going to look much more like real football. To your point, a lot of this will look like preseason, but you still figure out, this is where I think the coaching probably comes in a little more at the beginning of the year, where your veteran head coach, Sean Payton, that you pay $18 million, if you want to be paid, you have your guys now. I mean, I think a lot of it was Sean, and I think he did a great job last year. I am not taking anything away, but now you have more of your team. You have your handpicked quarterback. You have a lot of the pieces. You went out and got these guys, these specific free agents, and you came on the podium yourself and talked about Super Bowls and different stuff in the offseason where nobody even asked you about that. Nobody solicited Sean Payton to say this. He said it himself. Jojo, I'll tell you what, I like to talk, as you know, but sometimes you got to learn when to shut up. And I don't think he did Bo Nix any favors. I don't think he did the team any favors. Sometimes I just think, and I'm not mad at him, and he can prove me wrong by winning 8 or 10 games in a row. Great. But that didn't look great yet last week. No. And this same kind of effort on the road in Indianapolis this week will not get that done. If they play on offense the way they played last week, the Broncos aren't going to get the gifts that Cam Ward and his receivers gave us. 4 or 5 drop passes from wide open guys. Cam Ward, he kind of got robbed a little bit. All right, we got about a minute left. All right, and I will say this. First of all, Vinnola's Italian market is the best in the business. They're right off 38th and Wadsworth, 2 blocks west on Yarrow Street, right on the, I believe, the south side of the street, left-hand side of the street. And I'll say it is a can't miss. It's a destination market. They have everything you need, whether you want to make dinner, whether you don't, whether you want some pastry, whether you want some lunch meat, whether you want some Italian deli meat. I mean, there's nothing you can't get there. And I just love it. And then if you just want to eat lunch, it's also one of the best places to eat lunch. Talk a little bit. When is lunch? I mean, you can get lunch pretty much all day, right?
Oh yeah. Our kitchen's open from our opening bell to closing bell. Our kitchen staff is there ready. Everything. The full menu is available. Like sausage sandwich is our most popular. If you haven't had one of our Italian sausage sandwiches yet,
you're missing out.
Missing out. Got that nice sausage. It's got a little spice to it. It's not a spicy sausage, but it does have a spice to it. Peppers, mozzarella melted on it, a little side of our homemade sauce to dip it in.
You can't forget too. You got some cannolis, some Italian. My favorite is the pistachio. You got 3 or 4 kinds of cannolis, the best tiramisu in Colorado. And then, if you don't want to cook, just grab a big thing of sausage rolls or a big thing of the meatball rolls. They're right there in the deli case. You open up the freezer case and they're right there. I think you get 8 for $20, which is highway robbery. You got to raise the price. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. It's like giving away the best food in Colorado. Those are $50 for 8 as far as I'm concerned, but take advantage of it while they're still there, and in all honesty, that's what you want. It's convenient and your family will love it. Pair it with some marinara sauce, you're out the door, right?
You got anything you need right there.
Love it.
I mentioned last time we also sell wine. So if you're the type that wants a little wine with your pizza,
yeah.
We're a one-stop shop for that as well.
All right.
One-stop shop.
Well, listen, I have not made my prediction. I'm going to do that right now. I've got the Broncos pulling out a close one. I think it's going to be about 20-17. I just don't think the offenses are quite ready yet for all across the NFL. I mean, yeah, there were a couple outliers, but I think you're going to see a lot of games that, look around 21-14, 20-17. Not too many games in the 30s yet. I think these guys still, like you said, it's a little preseason-ish. Also, you're on the road against, I think, a team with a defense that looked pretty good in Miami. I believe they caused 4 turnovers with 2 in the Dolphins. And the Dolphins offense ranked 70 on the Broncos 2 years ago. So I'm not going to just say,
I remember that.
I'm not going to just say, I'm going to give the Colts a lot of credit. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this game's a blowout, but I think it's going to be a very tight game in Indy. All right, that is it for me and my partner from Las Vegas, Nevada, Alex Ramirez. Good luck. Godspeed, Alex, on the way home. The great Jojo Pergola from Vinnola's Italian Market. Our good friend Bill Foss, Tony Thompson from the Colorado Spartan. Our good friend Mike as well from Red's Auto Sales and Service. Make sure you go visit them up in Longmont, Colorado. And for all the sponsors of The Final Word, including our great friends Sadie and Sean Lawful up there at Grease Divas, make sure you visit them for all your classic car care needs. All right, we'll talk to you here next week on The Final Word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez. All right, perfect.